welcome to CEC lectures. Myself Dr. Preeti Jagwani. I am from Department of Computer Science, Aribet College, University of Delhi. So presently we are learning programming in Java through a lecture series, and the topic which we have covered in our last lecture was about the control statement in Java. So in our previous lecture we were studying about the jump statements in Java, which are there to we can say transfer control to other parts of the program. When I am saying other parts of the program, that means it is not immediately just after the statement. So within that we have started with break, and this break statement is having three usages, or a usage in three forms. We can say the first was inside a switch case statement or to terminate a switch case statement, that we have already we can say seen. And the second usage which we were starting with was to exit a loop. Now when we are going to use that particular break statement inside a loop, and we want this break statement to be used when we want to come out of the loop. Now let us say here is a perfect possibility that there is a set of nested loops, and you are using the break statement inside a particular loop within that nested sequence. So when used inside a set of nested loops, the break statements will only break out of the innermost loop, or after the innermost loop in which it is used. So here, if you can see on the screen, here is a code snippet which is given. If you after this the declaration of main, which is public static void main, you can find one statement which says for integer I is equals to 0, I less than 3, I plus plus, then system.out.println something. Then within that for statement, another for statement which is a nested for which is operating on the value of j is written there. And within that, if j is equals to 10, it is a break statement is used. So when we are going to use this break statement in such a manner as in this break statement here is used inside the inner loop of j. So whenever this break statement is going to encountered, that means the value of j is equals to the value of j when becomes 10. It's going to break the loop, but which loop? The only innermost loop, that is the loop which is controlled by j. The loop which is controlled by I will not be we can say exited. That is something which is kind of a word of caution, I can say. The third usage of break statement as a we can say a civilized form of goto. Java is not going to use does not, I can say, have a goto statement because it provides a way to branch in an arbitrary and unstructured manner. So with goto it is for sure that things will go hayway, I can say, and break is kind of a more cleaner approach to achieve the functionality which can be achieved using goto. So the general form of the labeled break statement, we can say, is nothing but break and then a label. Now what is this label? So this label is the name that identifies a block of a code. So here let us see with the help of an example. Within this example we have one value which is one variable which is named as t, and the value of this boolean variable is true. Now here you all are aware that curly brackets or curly braces which we call are going to mark here the a block. So the first block is shown in we can say green color here. It is starting from first colon and then a curly bracket. So the block which is being named as first is the block which is enclosed in green. So starting from first first till the curly bracket ends after system.out.println, this complete is the first block. Within this first block you have another block which is named as second. So second colon opening braces, it will go till closing braces of this, kind of, I can say, light blue color or cyan color. So here you can, make out this with the help of the colors. And within this second statement, another nested block which is named as third, and it is enclosed inside the, highlighting of gray color. So here you can see we have the statement first, then we have the we have the block first, then we have within that we have block second, and within that we have block third. So if I am kind of going to, if I want to come out of come out from the second block, I'll be using the statement break and the name of the block, which is second here. So here in this example you can see, apart from these three blocks, within these three blocks we have written system.out.println before the break, if t, then break second. So if t, so t here is a variable, boolean variable. I have already told you that it is a true variable. So if t, it is going to satisfy this condition, that means if the value written inside the conditional expression is true, so t is actually true, it is going to come out of the second block. So the statement which is written below this break second, this is not going to be executed. It is it is going to come out of the second loop, and come out of the second loop means it will directly go to the green highlighted statement which says system.out.println. This is after the second block, because when we say break second, it will come, the control will come completely out of the second block, and it will go immediately on the statement which is following after the closure of the second block. So here is we have seen three usages of go to. Then the next statement, or the next jump statement which we are going to study is about is continue. So continue is the statement which is used in order to force, in order to impose an early iteration of a loop, how that we are going to see in a short while with the help of examples. And we need to continue running the loop but stop processing the remainder of the code for this particular iteration. So for example, if x is equals to this, then continue. So for that particular iteration of x, the statements which are written after the continue will not be going to be I can say printed, or which are not going to be exist. This is in effect a go to just pass the body of the loop to the loop's end. So just we can say go to the loop's end. That is one of the similar cases of using continue. Continue is also going to perform such an action. So here you can see that we have an example in the form of a code snippet which says integer I is equals to 0, I less than 10, I plus plus, system.out.println I, and then space. If I is equals to 0, then you need to continue. If I mod 2 is equals to 0, that you need to continue. So this is actually going to skip the printing of the new line character, which is given as system.out.println. ln here stands for new line. So that means whenever the remainder of I, when taken by division of 2, it is equals to 0. That means whenever the value of I is even, it is not going to change the line. So this is what it is, and this code is going to use this code is actually using the mod operator to check whether the I is even, and if it is even, the loop continues without printing a new line, and here is an output of the program. So 0, it is considered as 0 mod 2 is equals to 0, so no new line change. 1 mod 2 is not equals to 0, so a line change is there. Then for after 2, no line change. After 3, there is a change of line. After 4, an even number it is. no new line, but after 5 a new line is there, and then so on and so forth. So, this is what it is happening, and as with the break statement, continue may also specify a particular label to describe which enclosing loop it we can say continue. And here is such an example which says there is a class continue label. Inside that class it is having public static void main string args, and again a labeled loop, and the labeled loop we have just seen when we were studying the statement break. So, this outer here is a label followed by a colon. So, this is actually an outer, this is actually a block which is named as the outer block, in which a for loop based on the value of I is there. Then there is a nested for loop based on the value of j, and if j is greater than I, then system.out.println and continue outer. So, that means it is going to continue with the next iteration of the outer, and whatever is given after this, it is not going to be printed or not going to be accessed, we can say. So, this is what the we can say implementation of continue is. Then after when we started in normal programming, or many of the programming languages, when we talk about the jump statements, we have break, we have continue, we have return, and as well as we have go to. But in Java specifically we do not use the statement go to, because of so many disadvantages it is carrying. So, we have seen break statement, we have seen continue, and now we are looking into the statement return. So, when we talk about return, it is actually a statement which is used to explicitly return the control from a method. So, now return can be used with a particular variable or without a particular variable. So, when used with a particular variable, return is going to not only return the control, but the value of that or that variable also. When used without the variable, it is going to return the control itself. Now, when we say it is going to return the control from whom to whom, that is, we can say it causes the program control to transfer back to the caller of the method. So, you understand this term, we have one calling method and another one is the calling method. One is one which is being called, another one which is the calling, which is calling. So, for example, main is calling another function, let us say sqrt. So, sqrt is being called by the main function. So, main is the calling function, we can say, or main is the caller function or the method. So, return statement causes the program control to transfer back to the caller of the method. Now, this this caller of the method could be operating system. For main, it is the operating system. So, who is calling the statement main? It is the operating or the method main, more specifically, it is the operating system, and within the main you can have many of the functions or many of the methods being called. So, in order to come back, or in order to come out of those methods or functions, you can use return, and because it is going to transfer the program control back to the caller of the method, it is categorized as one of the jump statements. So, as I have told you that it is it can be used to cause execution to branch back to the caller of the method. Thus, the return statement immediately terminates the function or the method inside which it is being written, or inside which it is being kind of, we can say, executed. In order to see how this return is performing, here is an example of the code snippet which is having class return, then some public static void main string args, again boolean t is equals to true, one variable boolean variable whose value is true, and then we have system.out.println before the return. If T, then it will kind of return to the caller, and whatever is written after this particular statement, this will not execute. So it will only say when I'm going to kind of implement this code snippet, it will only say before the return, and because the value of T is true, it will return to the caller. Now till this point we have seen 3 jump statements which are used in Java. One is break. Break is used in case of switch case statements, in case of exiting from a loop, and as a civilized form of goto, that we have seen. After that we have started with continue, and we have seen the usage of continue as to carry the loop with the next iteration and to skip the value or skip the execution of that particular iteration in which this condition of continue is going to be satisfied. Another statement which we have just seen is about the return statement. That return statement is actually used to cause the execution branch back to the caller of the method or caller of the statement, I can say, and thus the return statement will immediately terminates the method in which it and inside which it is executed. So these kind of jump statement we have seen, and now let us see why do we really actually need to use these jump statement despite of the situation that we have looping statements. But please make it clear in your mind that looping statements are having their own utility. They want to kind of they are there to use, they are there to be used in such circumstances when you want to repeat a particular code. Jump statement says if you want to kind of transfer the control of the program to some other statement or some other part of the program, you are there, jump statement are there to be used. So both are having kind of we can say their own utilities. Also with these jump statements there are a few advantages, also some of the disadvantages. Now let us try to explore the list of those advantages and disadvantages of jump statements. So let us begin with the advantages first. So the first is advantage which comes up with the jump statement is when we talk about the statement return in particular, which is one of the jump statements, it is going to add the flexibility to the method, because it serves as a powerful tool for designing a method, and by allowing the method to exit and return the values to the calling code, it enables the dynamic data exchange. So I have told you that return can be used with a value or can be used without a value. So we will just say return, or we will say return A. So A is the value which is being returned, and also the control of the program is also returned back to the caller. When I am saying just the term return, only the control is being kind of transferred, or control is being returned to the caller back. So by allowing methods to exit and return the values to the calling code, when values are being kind of returned, it enables the dynamic data exchange. So return is actually a powerful statement when you need to supply back some value to the caller function or the kind of caller code. When a caller or when a calling method is going wants to supply something to the method which is being called, it may uses arguments. So from calling to callee, it is the exchange happens through arguments. In the other direction or in the vice versa directions, when we talk about, that is from callee to calling, it is through the statement return. So it enables kind of we can say a dynamic data exchange. So this was kind of particular, this was an advantage which is particular to the return statement. But generally if we can see these jump statements which are break, continue and return, if placed properly, they will help in expressing the intent of the code more explicitly. And by judiciously using or employing these jump statements, one programmer can improve the readability and maintainability of their Java code to a high extent, we can say. So one advantage of these jump statement is they are used in order to maintain the code, or in order to make the code more readable. Then apart from that, the next advantage is error handling and program flow. So basically these jump statements play a significant role in handling the errors, and obviously the motivation behind using this jump statement, or the idea behind using these jump statement, was to control the program flow. So when strategically used, these return statements within the methods, one programmer can handle the exceptional cases, and in the presence of those exceptional cases, one can gracefully exit when it is required. Also, when we talk about the return statement, we can also have some concepts of exception handling for the instead of these return statements and so on and so forth, but that exception handling fundamentals we will be covering in our upcoming lectures. So one idea is to handle the errors properly. They are there to use the control to control the program flow, and developers can handle the exceptional cases using these return statements within the method very gracefully. It will lead to more robust error handling and ensure that the program continues to function correctly even in an unexpected scenario. So when we want the program to continue continue correctly even in an unexpected scenario, there comes kind of exception handling for saving us. But yes, jump statements are also there to save us from that particular situation. Then particularly when we talk about the break statement, it is simplifying the switch statements to a lot. So in switch statement, the break statement prevents the unintended cascading and fall through behavior. If we are not going to use break within a particular case block, it is going to check the next block also. So this prevents multiple case blocks from getting executed when only one is intended. And clear and more concise switch statement reduces the chances of logic error. Also when we talk about switch statement, we can say that rather than having many levels of nested if statements, it is always a better idea to use clear switch statements by employing the proper usage of break. Also these jump statements are going to help us in writing a well structured code that is going to improve the debugging and testing. Obviously the code behaves predictably and logically. When our code is going to behave predictably and logically, it becomes easier to identify and resolve issues during debugging. And by isolating specific sections of the code by using jump statements, we can say this could also be a testing strategy, that testing becomes more straightforward and effective. Coming to the disadvantage section of the jump statement, sometimes excessive usage of jump statement can reduce the code reusability, and when used haphazardly, they may disrupt the natural flow of the code, and then it will become more challenging for the other developers or even for the original one to understand the logic. So code maintenance challenges are there. Overuse of jump statement can make a code maintenance a very kind of horrifying task, I can say. As the complexity of the code increases, it becomes harder to modify and extend the application without introducing unintended side effects. So code maintenance challenges are there. So is reduced code predictability. We can't predict the output of the code or behavior of the code if there are too many jump statements scattered or used throughout the code. This will lead to unintended consequences and subtle errors that are difficult to detect. So, code predictability will also be reduced, and so as when code predictability is reduced, it is going to lead to the errors, and then within this in this type of situation, your debugging will become kind of a very heavy task, or debugging complexity will also be increased when the flow of execution is altered abruptly through use of many jump statements. This can lead to longer debugging session and may even introduce new errors while attempting to fix the existing one. So also with using this jump statements a lot, there is a risk of infinite getting into infinite loops if we forget to include a proper break condition, or if we forget to use a proper continue statement. This may lead to the infinite loops. Program may become unresponsive, or your machine program may program will lead to hanging and become unresponsive. So here in this lecture we have started with the left part of the left part of break statement. Then after break statement we studied continue statement and return as a part of jump statements, and towards the end we have seen many of the advantages as well as the disadvantages of using these jump statement. Here is a list of references which is being used for the preparation of lecture. Hope you have enjoyed one. I will see you in the next lecture. Till then, take care. Goodbye.